Kelsey. I go to Western University. I'm a senior. I went to Tanzania this past spring in 2011, and I'm majoring in design studies with a minor in sustainable design and communication. A general week in Tanzania, you would get up around, I guess, like 8-ish. I would go to the tree nursery where I volunteered. Plant some plants, we worked with Esther and Frank, talked to me and Lindsay, talked to them, hung out with them, worked with them. Then we would go back to where we lived for lunch, and then we would probably go back to the work site for about another hour or so, do some more planning and talking and hanging out. And then we would go back, probably do some homework, just hang out. And then eat dinner, and then on a day where we didn't have volunteering, those days were kind of free except for the days, but in the middle of the day you had class. I have lots of memorable experiences from my work site besides just the people that I worked with, who I fell in love with. But one particular day, the lady who worked with Esther, she would be like, let's go take a walk. So one day she was like, let's go take a walk, and we ended up walking around town. We ended up walking like out of our work site into one of her friends, in like her friends' houses. We went and said hey to them, and across the way there was actually a funeral going on. So she was like, let's go check it out, and me and Lindsay were like, oh god, this is gonna be weird. But once again, we walked up there, and they welcomed us, and they were like, welcome, and there were a bunch of men sitting outside, like out front of the house, playing cards, watching TV. I think they were watching TV. And out back there were women just cooking and all hanging out, and they were just like, come, welcome, welcome. And we had our cameras, so like, take pictures, and then we went back to working. Those two stories are probably definitely things that you would find yourself frequently. Just people always welcoming you into their houses. There's a thing people like to call Africa time, where just things happen on their own time. Like you might supposed to meet somebody at 10 o'clock, but they might not get there till 11, and it's not a big deal. So yeah, taking a walk in the middle of the work day, or just being welcomed, is a normal day activity. Broadway, in the main town, to paint a picture, I guess, it's filled with, it's like dirt roads, but when you get into town, it's a small town, but it's filled with a lot of buildings, restaurants, phone stores, just like stores where you can buy kitangas and kangas, which is fabric that the women wear. And then as you walk there are houses with women outside doing their laundry, kids outside playing, and you walk past and people say hi to you, talk to you. When I first got back from Tanzania, I definitely was in culture shock. Everything was, you just go to the store and it's just like there's so much stuff and there's so many people. And then you get acclimated and you get kind of used to it, but then I guess things come up and they just remind you of Tanzania, or you have a chance to experience things that you learned about in Tanzania. Like I went to the Invisible Children's meeting last night, and it's just cool because you can hear that side of the story, but you've been to that place of the world, so you can really learn. Because we learned about top-up development to bottom-down development, so you can just really see. It's just a different experience than you would have before you went. Amizade is a really, really good program. The volunteering is a really awesome way to not only help, but just get to connect with the people in the community. And they give you lots. You get the safari trip, so there's lots of perks with it. But it's just a really, really awesome study abroad program, and I would suggest it to anybody.